This week on Hot Couple Chronicles.
It's not fun if not everyone consents.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that it's 100% enthusiastically consensual every single time is a no.
Yeah.
Period. Believing jealousy doesn't exist. And more so on that, like, if you're a good swinger, you won't get jealous.
Oh, yeah. Good swingers
Just
don't
believing
feel
that jealousy is just such a bad thing and a horrible thing. And
I've said it once. I've said
Not
it.
true.
I'll say it a million times more. It's a basic human emotion.
Yeah, people say if you're jealous, you shouldn't be in the lifestyle. You're horrible at the lifestyle. If you feel jealousy, and
I never got that one. Like, how are you horrible at the lifestyle?
Jealousy happens. Jealousy exists. Even in the tightest, most solid couples, your jealousy is a thing.
I mean, you felt it. I've felt it.
It's a thing that pops up.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Welcome to Hot Couple Chronicles, a podcast exploring the swinging lifestyle. Our discussions may contain explicit content and adult themes intended for mature audiences. While we strive to offer valuable insights and entertainment, please be aware that the views expressed are based on personal experiences and opinions. We encourage listeners to approach the content with an open mind and to prioritize communication, consent, and respect in their relationships. Remember, everyone's journey is unique, so take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Thank you for joining us on our adventure.
I'm Russ.
And I'm Ashley.
And this is Hot Couple Chronicles.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
You look pretty today.
I'm trying.
Say your hair is. I love when you curl your hair like that.
I know we were doing the podcast, and then tonight we have dinner with friends. So
yeah,
I'm trying here. Always trying. Yes, today we're going to talk about mistakes that we've made and others have made in the lifestyle that we wouldn't do again. We wanted to talk more about just lessons we've learned. We've all had what the fuck moments. Why did we do that? And so I've been gathering some questions and different answers and stuff from people on Instagram and in our email and everything. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I made a post a couple weeks ago naming our top 5. And it went viral and did really well. So it kind of inspired.
You got a lot of responses to it.
For an Instagram post with educational stuff. Usually they don't do so well. So it kind of inspired. I figured we'd do a whole podcast and talk a little bit more about that. All right. First, we're going to go into the top 5 things that I listed of mistakes that we have made that we wouldn't want to do again. Number 1 is going in without clear boundaries.
Yeah. That's just asking for hurt feelings and jealousy.
Definitely recommend before going into anything. We didn't know.
No,
what we were doing.
We had no idea.
But definitely before you continue into lifestyle and choose to be in lifestyle, make sure that you're discussing, sitting down, figuring it out, what it is that you want.
Yeah, for sure.
Why and rules and everything. It's good to have.
Yeah, we had that conversation really late in the game. Yeah. But to be fair, we didn't even know the lifestyle was, and we didn't identify as swingers to.
We were just going to have fun.
We were just going to have fun. Like, we would never.
It wasn't until we really became swingers and decided we wanted to join the lifestyle that we even decided to have that conversation.
Well, even after we said, like, we owned the swinger title, I guess you would say, we started having those conversations, but it was really slow, a lot of small conversations, and that build up to collectively it was our boundaries,
and what we want and what we don't want and all of that. It can be look however you want it to look as long as you are clear.
It's like we didn't sit down for hours and hours and hash it out like this is what I want, this is what I do not want, this is a hard boundary. It was a whole bunch of small conversations that, and then even then we didn't really dive into it for a while.
All right, now mistake number 2. assuming everyone understands consent just because they are in the lifestyle. And that is not.
That is
Unfortunately,
not
not
the case.
true.
Unfortunately,
We've
it should
come-
be the case.
Should be. We've come a long way.
It has come a long way since we first got into the lifestyle.
Yes.
I mean, there would be just people just come up and grab you, and
Oh, yeah. Especially early on, I remember having a really hard time with people
touching
respecting,
you. Yeah.
respecting consent and respecting asking to before they touch. And it used to be a really big problem. Luckily, we haven't had that problem in quite a while. I think because we've been.
Well, I think we've been so loud about the consent part
I think we've
that they
sticking
can't ignore it.
Yeah, we're pretty loud.
Yeah, that's the only way to put it. Is we are
Yeah.
very upfront and open about,
As everyone.
don't touch me unless you ask.
Yeah.
You
can look, but you can't touch.
Yeah.
Make sure you ask before you touch. And very simple stuff, but unfortunately, especially with the older generation, I feel like had a problem with it.
Yeah.
I think we had more of a problem with the older lifestyle.
Now, on that, I still have, like, men are better.
Yeah.
Women, I feel, and it's not all women, but a lot of women feel like they're not included. It's just assumed that it's okay if they touch me.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
That's a lot of the case.
Yeah. That's always been kind of.
And it's not true. Like,
Yeah.
my consent is just as important as your consent.
Yeah.
So
That's been an
that's
problem.
I think that's our next journey is, hey, girls, it's you too.
Yeah. That's not, it doesn't just apply to males or females or one or the other. It should be everyone. You should be getting consent from everyone. And before group play, before you're playing with even a swap or even one person, anyone, that needs to be a conversation beforehand that you consent. And it doesn't have to be formal. It doesn't have to be weird or awkward. Can be. That's fine.
Yeah.
But
I love it now because even when we go into group situations now, like you hear the conversations before play starts.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a group conversation. Does anybody have any hard boundaries that we want to be aware of?
Does everyone consent to be here? Does everyone consent to this or that? And I do love hearing the difference. And
the last couple, you can see where people have almost hit a boundary.
Mm-hmm.
And like with their partner or something like that. And everybody pauses and make sure that everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shoot, we're just having fun. It's not that serious. You guys are more important than what's going on right now. And so we make sure everybody's okay before we start playing again.
Yeah, it's not fun if not everyone consents.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that it's 100% enthusiastically consensual every single time. Make sure you have that conversation.
Yes.
It can be sexy. It can be, I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to try this with you. Would you be okay with this? It doesn't have to be so icky and official and weird.
Doesn't.
And it doesn't have to be anything like that. Just
it's the same type of conversation you have with the partners as well.
Yes.
Like, man, I would love your wife to.
Yeah.
Or
that's a good way to do it too. So there's ways to do it that are makes it a little bit more sexy.
like, man, we're vibing and I would love to do this to her or have her do this, and they'll just be like, nah, or yeah, that's fucking hot.
And then when someone says no, don't
Yeah, then if someone says no, it's all right.
Don't
like,
get defensive.
No,
It's just a no.
You can't get defensive.
Yeah.
It's
anything
not
but a yes
your.
is a no.
Yeah.
Period. And so you have to really, not only the words, but gauge their body language and everything that's going on. Not being pressured under the influence of alcohol or drugs or anything like that. It has to be consensual. You can't
enthusiastic.
Those. Yes.
Emphasizing on enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic. All right.
So the third one is prioritizing others' pleasure over your own.
Yes. Worrying about everyone else getting off and having a great time, which is natural for me to normally do. And
fell in that trap for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't we were playing.
Yeah.
But I wasn't having a great time.
Yeah, it was very performative.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I was just going through the motions.
Yeah. And then you step back and you're like, why are we here? If we're not having any pleasure and we're not enjoying the sex, then what's the point in having the
we're
sex?
here to enjoy
We have
it.
great sex by ourselves alone. We don't need any of that to have that. So if we're not here to enhance things, why are you even here? And
exactly.
that was definitely a big one that we got stuck into for quite a while. I know me for sure. And I think with the OF and the content creating and stuff, it kind of does blur and it does become a little performative at moments.
Well,
You have to,
that type when you are a creator like you and you're on social media, it's hard to not let that side consume you.
yeah, and
Like it,
definitely don't want it to do that in swinging land when swinging is
oh,
our thing, our private.
like that we had multiple conversations about that and
Yeah,
trying to figure out, okay, when is it work and when is it just us
yeah,
wilding out, you
yeah,
know, like
yeah,
having fun.
yeah,
Like we had to really put those lines in place and talk before we go to an event or a
yeah,
takeover or a party, like, okay, this is work.
yeah, yeah,
So we're going to have fun regardless,
yeah,
but we're still working.
yeah,
And then where it's okay, this is just a us weekend. We're not going to cut time out for content and TikToks and
yeah,
pictures and stuff like that. This is just going to be us.
yeah.
And we
But
had to draw those lines because it was consuming
yeah,
you
yeah,
for sure. Like you weren't having fun anymore
yeah, and
because
you want to listen to
yeah,
all of the wants and the needs that you want. That's the whole
exactly.
purpose, that the reason that you're there, and
Exactly.
you're there to have a good time and feel good.
Yes.
So don't worry so much about everybody else and just focus on what you want and how good
Yeah.
it feels for you and go from there.
Looking for a fresh way to connect in the lifestyle? Welcome to The Playground, a modern space where open-minded adults meet, explore, and create unforgettable connections.
Built for the lifestyle community, the playground is where curiosity meets connection. Ready to join the fun? Click the link below and start your adventure with the playground today.
Do you wanna get naughty? Do you wanna get naughty, baby? Do you wanna get naughty? Do you wanna get naughty, baby? Do you wanna get naughty? Do you wanna get naughty, baby? Do you wanna get naughty? Do you wanna get naughty, baby?
Okay.
Mistake number 4. Ignoring red flags at events
Or anywhere, really.
or anywhere.
Really any red flag at all, any gut feeling. I have come a long way in this last year or so. I have really become adamant about trusting my gut because I know better.
You're my
Usually,
gauge. Like,
if
cause
something happens,
don't have the, I don't even know what to call that. Like
intuition.
intuition,
I don't know. I just get a gut feeling.
empathy.
Yeah, I can just usually tell
Yeah, like,
pretty fast if it's going to be a good situation or a bad situation. I can
yeah,
usually, it's a gut feeling, and I have many, many times chosen to ignore that feeling, and every single time go back and
well,
say, I
and
should
it
have.
took me,
Listen.
because like I said, you're my gauge there. And it took me a while to just trust you. Because a lot of times I'm in the moment. I think it's going to be fun. Like everybody's good.
No,
You see something that I don't, and
no,
then I question you, or I tell you, oh no, it's fine.
no.
It took me a long time to
Just
just,
being paranoid. Just think
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
whatever.
just
But
blame it on. It's easy to blame it on anxiety and stuff
no,
like that. Where now it's just like, okay, like I
because
believe you.
every single time I've said, this person, I'm not vibing with this person. There's something about them or this couple or something. I've never, never, never been wrong ever. And so I've really just been, there's, not everybody's going to be
And
for you. There's so many
I
people
think
out
that's
there.
a lot of that is the difference between a men's brain and a female's brain. Like you pick up on different things than I pick up on.
Yeah.
Like you are definitely more emotionally intelligent than I am.
Yeah.
And so you see things in from a different scope than I do.
Yeah.
And where I would see something where it's just a couple just kind of barking back and forth or something like that. You see it as nope.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red
Like that's not play fighting. That's real fighting. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, there's like deep issues going on there.
Yeah.
Something bigger is going on. And like I said, there's another couple out there for you. You don't have to spend all your time and energy and focus on trying to fix people and trying to, Just some people are just people. Some people aren't the greatest. Some couples aren't it.
Yeah.
And just go with your gut. If you see anything that makes you feel uneasy or you just don't like, you don't have to be a part of it. And you can remove yourself quietly, nicely. Remove yourself.
Yeah.
That's all, as simple as it
We've
is.
done that. We were actually pretty good at doing that from the
Yeah.
beginning
No.
because we had some people with red flags that were very aggressive in the beginning.
Yeah.
And we had to politely
This is just
remove ourselves without really just hurting, like being like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Mistake number 5, believing jealousy doesn't exist. And more so on that, like if you're a good swinger, you don't get jealous.
Oh, yeah. Good swingers
Just
don't
believing
feel
that jealousy is
Yeah.
just such a bad thing and a horrible thing. And
I've
not
said it
true.
once. I've said
Not
it.
true.
I'll say it a million times more. It's a basic human emotion.
Yeah. People say if you're jealous, you shouldn't be in the lifestyle. You're horrible at the lifestyle. If you feel jealousy
Like,
and that,
I never got that one. Like, how are you horrible at a lifestyle?
yeah, I know. And how do you, yeah, I never
Like,
get
you-
there.
everybody has their own journey.
Yeah, and again, jealousy is normal. Jealousy's okay.
And
What you do with it.
also, sometimes it takes couples to get into the lifestyle to actually find out
Yeah.
it's not for them.
Yeah. No, it's not for everyone.
It's not for
We always say that. We're not trying to sell it
But
to everybody.
it shows how comfortable they are in their relationship that they are willing
Recognize
to
it, yeah.
explore it and then
Mhm.
recognize that, okay, this
This
really
isn't
isn't
for- yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
And then they step back.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah, jealousy happens. Jealousy exists. Even in the tightest, most solid couples, your jealousy is a thing.
I mean, you
that
felt
pops
it.
up.
I've felt
Yeah.
it.
It's a thing that pops up.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. So that's not true. Not true. And for the next segment, we have gotten a list of stuff. A lot of people interacted and submitted their own mistakes that they've made and lessons that they learned. So I have a list of those. Number 6 would have and was going to be also on the list. I was between the last one and this one, and it's taking one for the team. And I've gotten that so many times. So many people have made that mistake, and
Including us.
including us. I think
I think everybody has.
I feel like we've all been there. where-
So, my favorite stories are because we've both done it. We've both, more than once, we've made the mistake.
Yeah.
But
But they're so nice. You know?
Right.
We always say they're so
But-
nice.
my favorite ones are when we misread each other's cues and we both
take one for the
we
team.
both take
Yeah,
one
we-
for the team and then we don't realize it till after the fact.
Yeah, we've learned that lesson. That was a lesson. I wanted to add that to my list, and it was almost on there. And I knew everyone was going to be coming back with that one because I think almost all of us have been in a situation where they're not 100% turned on with the person.
Yeah.
They consent and everything, but we've all been there, and we try not to make that mistake anymore. That's one that we definitely.
My
I
favorite.
will look at you and be like, we're not doing that. We're not
Yeah,
doing that. We
yeah.
stopped doing
No,
that. Remember?
some of my favorite stories that we still laugh about are when like we're both taking one for the team and we realize it in the middle of a play session. And we look at each other and we both have
We go. You ready? You
ready, head,
ready? You good?
ready, go on,
Like,
get.
okay, let's go. Yeah, don't do that. We've learned the hard way.
Yes.
The next one is one that someone said, never play with more than you can handle. One guy can't realistically pleasure 4 women at the same time.
So it took me a long time to just have to be with 2 women at one time.
It's a lot going on. There's a lot.
Cause like that's a lot.
A lot of work.
That's a lot of work. I mean, every man knows and woman
Yeah.
knows that the female orgasm is completely different than the male orgasm.
Takes much more time. Effort.
And it takes a lot more attention and to just get one female to orgasm.
Yeah.
When you have 2,
Yeah.
like 2, not just 2, but 2 straight women
Yeah. What you unfortunately
that don't it's different if they're bi because then they play with
Yeah.
each other and it's a
Yeah.
but two straight women that are just strictly focused on you,
Yeah. You've
that
had a
is
lot of
hard.
that.
That is hard to
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
Because then, like, you're literally trying to pleasure everybody at once. It's a lot. I'm telling you, it is a lot.
It's just a lot. Yeah. Not for everybody.
It's not.
All right. Hey, beautiful. If you're looking to feel confident and sexy, Voluptuous Vixen has got you covered with stunning lingerie and outfits that fit every curve. And for our listeners, you can snag 10% off your order with code HOTCOUPLENGA at checkout. Don't miss out. Check out the link below and find your next favorite piece.
The next one is invite a couple to your house on your first date. I already know how that could go bad.
Yeah. We've never done that.
We've never done that, but we have been to a couple's house on the first date. It's
Yeah,
their
we-
house.
Yeah, we
And
have.
it was just as awkward for us as I'm sure it was for them because they had never done anything lifestyle. They were super, super, super new. And we just were like hanging out at their house. But
Yeah.
it was late at night
Yeah.
after the bar.
It was. Yeah. Though, so that one, like, we went to their, like, we did play with them,
Yeah.
but we went to their house 2 or 3 times before we actually played with, because no one could get, I never got the vibe that to start play.
Make a move.
You have to make the move.
But they were so new and so
Young.
young.
They were a
They're
lot.
young. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were very young. And we were at their house. And so yeah. But yeah, it always makes it awkward. That's why I would definitely always prefer to meet at a restaurant or a club or a place that's neutral, a good space where you can excuse yourself a little bit easier. It's a little harder when you're at your own house, especially because you have to kick people out of your home pretty much and be the nice as possible doing it. So
Yeah.
it always makes things
Also,
a little bit.
heard horror stories of it going bad and like the couple getting in fights, like physical altercations.
And then the first date, you don't even know the people at all. So you have no idea who in the heck or what they're like together, their chemistry. And just don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't recommend. 0 out of 10. And then never change rules when you're drunk or in the middle of play.
Yeah.
Never. That's a
Yeah.
huge one. That definitely should be on there. Definitely do not break rules when you're in the middle of whatever.
Yeah, you're
that
not.
doing. Don't change things.
You're not
adjust boundaries.
in the middle of play, even if you're completely sober, that is not the time to be like, hey, I'm going to do this now.
Yeah.
Hope you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the time
No.
or place to have that conversation. That's, you stay within the boundaries, and then afterwards, that's a conversation you can have a later time. Like, hey, I think I want to try this next time. I know we've talked about it, but how do you feel about it now that we have a little bit?
It's always okay to adjust and change boundaries and everything, but definitely don't do it when you're under the influence, when you can't consent.
No.
And when you're in the middle.
Those are later conversations, and
do it in private. When you're
90% of the time, your boundaries and rules are going to adjust. Because
but they're also there for a reason. And
exactly.
to address that reason in the middle of stuff like that is just not a good time.
When you're adjusting your boundaries, that means the reason that boundary was there is no longer a problem.
Yeah.
You don't change the boundary just to make your partner happy either.
Yeah.
You're changing the boundary because you're both
comfortable
with it.
Yeah. And you want to move from. Okay. Never hard swap with a couple that indulges in substances that we aren't comfortable consuming. And that goes back to just same with the last one. Anytime you're under the influence of anything, you can't consent. And also, it's not fun. It's sloppy.
Yeah.
It's usually not a good time anyway. If people aren't in the right frame of mind and everyone's not present, I definitely prefer sober. And at least, for the most part.
Yeah, I definitely prefer sober.
Like a couple drinks is fine, but past that, it just starts to get a little bit not fun.
Because a couple drinks is fine. That's just like a social lubricant kind of. But when you get to
that,
anything not that or too much of, it's not like you don't feel anything the same.
Yeah.
Everything goes nuts. You're not experiencing the sensations and everything that you want to feel because you're not all there.
Yeah. It's just not good. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. The next one, not discussing the experience afterwards.
Yeah, you definitely
think
need
that-
to unpack.
And some people prefer not to know details and not to talk about it, but
Let's say I can only speak from our experience,
Yeah.
and we enjoy watching each other.
yeah,
So when we talk about it, it's like reliving those moments.
yeah.
So it's might be
yeah. Some
different.
people don't love to hear details and hear the ins and outs about everything that someone does. But for overall the experience as a whole, it's good for you and your partner
Yeah.
to discuss that part. I think it's part of growing and part of being in the lifestyle and evolving and stuff. It's good to get it out there and just talk about your experience. You don't have to, if that's your thing. You
Yeah.
don't have to get into
Well, it's
the nitty gritty
kind of
details and
goes back to your wants and needs and desires.
no.
I wanted I desired this, I wanted this, I
Yeah.
got this, this happened, didn't love it. Let's not do that anymore
Yeah.
or for a while. It's just
Back off a little
yeah.
bit. Yeah. All right. And then the big one, another big one that was going to make my list as well is jumping in too fast, rushing things instead of easing your way into the lifestyle. And I think that's a big mistake that a lot of people make. I think
Yeah.
everybody gets very excited.
Yeah.
We always
so
talk about that cocaine effect. It's very,
you
it's a rush. It's
get into that environment
Yeah.
and you kind of get consumed and you start doing things that you think
Mhm.
is okay.
Yeah.
But before you talked about it, like you're just assuming it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And you're jumping in way too fast. You're going in head first
Usually without any communication.
without
or
communication,
discussion.
and
Yeah.
it's 9 times out of 10 it ends badly.
Yeah. Slow down. It's not a race. We always say that's
No.
one of our biggest tips that we tell everybody is to just
If you're
Go
vibing with
slow.
a couple and one of you isn't ready to swap or play with anybody else,
No.
it's okay. Your vibe's there. You're going to have another chance.
yeah, you'll connect. And the more you connect and the more often you see each other and the more you
Yeah.
be around each other, you don't have to do sexually. But that does help in the long run.
Yeah.
Get comfortable and be be
And B.
and be
And B.
and be and be. All right, for the next segment, we're going to talk about unspoken lessons no one warned us about. And we're going to warn you guys about. That's what we're here for. First one is the lifestyle won't fix a broken relationship.
Yeah, 100%. It will
It will not
expose.
just like having a kid to save your marriage, same idea.
Yeah.
It's not going to make it any better. It's only going to amplify all of the
Yeah.
things.
Now, people think in the beginning it is helping
Yes.
because there's that honeymoon
That
phase,
adrenaline
that
rush, that
yeah,
excitement,
and they
hot people everywhere.
hop, and then
Get to touch.
your sex with your partner is
Yeah.
really hot
Because you're turned on. and
yeah,
Because it's just sexy. And
yeah. But that's when
Yeah.
relationships become sex based,
Mm.
which sex is an important part of your relationship, but it can't be sex based.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where it's going to expose a lot of
All-
the
all thing
fractures in your relationship.
will not save your marriage. You need
No.
to be going into this lifestyle with a strong foundation.
Oh,
or
yeah.
You are going to be in trouble.
You can build the best house in the world, but if the foundation isn't there, it's just going to crumble.
Yep. All the old people sayings, all the
Yeah,
things
all
that, all the old sayings, all the cliches, all the things that applies here. Definitely work on
Yeah.
your foundation before you build on it, because it will
Yeah, 100%.
expose all the cracks faster. And then the next one, friendships can get messy.
I feel like they can.
Especially when you involve people that don't have strong foundations and have
Right.
cracks and
That's what
been
I was going to
married
get at.
and-
I was trying to word that.
Yeah.
Is people, they don't have strong foundations, and other people that don't understand the boundaries that you and your partner have,
Yes.
and they cross your boundaries,
Because you need to set boundaries for your friends
and then
as well as
yeah, and
your
then so
partner.
when you don't trust your friends, then you you try and bring it up to them. If they're not good, they get defensive, and yeah, it can
Just
be
like
a
any
whole
other
thing.
friendship, you have to work and put effort into it, and it's complicated and it can get messy. But then you add sex on top of it, and marriages and relationships and stuff. So the chance
Yeah.
of things going bad are a little bit higher. And set those boundaries with your friends, or even non-lifestyle friends. You should be setting boundaries.
Yeah.
All of our friends know that we put our family first, that we are usually 99% of the time busy with kids and life and work and family and all
Yeah.
of that. And it's hard to get together, and it's not the easiest.
Yeah.
And we do struggle to get date nights in and stuff with people. And you have to be a little bit more patient with us because this is what we do for fun.
Yeah. This is
for the most
not,
part, this is our free time.
Yeah.
And we don't have that much of it. So we try to, as much as possible,
what?
help. We do share it with you guys, but it is a little bit more complicated and stuff. So set those boundaries and make sure that you
Yeah,
are
that
trying
kind of
to
goes
avoid.
back to the part where your boundaries, like set your boundaries
Yeah.
before you even get into it.
Yeah. Everybody, period.
Everyone.
With everybody.
With everyone.
Yourself, everyone, everyone else.
All the boundaries.
Yes. And then handling lifestyle burnout, because that's a real thing.
Yeah.
And it's okay to take breaks. We know a lot of couples that do take breaks, but
Yeah.
hot take, though. Hot take. We actually discussed this not too long ago. We had a late night discussion on this, but I feel like if you, I don't know. I don't want to make anyone mad, but I think that if you step away from the lifestyle and you stop being in the lifestyle, that usually is a red flag for me. I don't know. I think a lot of the couples that say that they're taking a break from the lifestyle
Yeah, we did talk about
usually a
that.
marriage issue.
Yeah.
There's usually
But
something going
also-
on. And it's okay to not actively swing and not go to events and not go to clubs and not do all of that, but to remove yourself completely from being a swinger in the lifestyle and stuff, that
Yeah, when you completely ostracize yourself for a while and then
It's
come
always a red
back like nothing happened,
it's always a red flag.
that is a red flag.
It is a red flag.
Because we build real friendships
Yeah.
in the lifestyle.
Yeah.
If any of our friends in the lifestyle just all of a sudden just stopped communicating with us and said, well, we're not in the lifestyle. I'm like, well, I thought we were friends.
Yeah. I think because the definition of lifestyle is it's your lifestyle. It's the way that you live.
Yeah, that is something. Another hot take. Hot take.
Yeah.
We all, people call this a hobby.
Yeah.
But it's a lifestyle. When can everybody just own it? You know what I
For
mean?
some people, they do it once a year and they go to Hito and come home. And it is like a,
But so I feel like that's the for me, again, that's the between the lifestyle and swingers.
being a swinger. Yeah. Or being like a exhibitionist.
Like I don't feel like those two
Yeah.
words are synonymous.
Yeah. I think if you're saying lifestyle, then you're non-monogamous. It's part of who
Yeah.
you are as a human being. So, yeah. And it's okay to not go to events and not go to parties and not do all of that and everything else. And it's okay to take breaks, and it is overwhelming. I get that. I do. But
Yeah, it can be a lot.
It is a lot.
Not just emotionally and physically, but financially.
oh, yeah. It's not cheap.
Shit is
It's
expensive.
not cheap to be here. No.
So, yeah, I get people taking breaks,
Yeah.
but it's the people that have to feel like they have to announce it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it's the people that it's the same people that like announce
Focusing
their
on their marriage, usually it's because there's something in the marriage.
Yeah.
And that's okay to do that and focus on the
But
marriage.
why do you have
and
to
recognize
announce it?
that? But yeah, it should be something that you're doing every day anyway.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. I guess it's just hard to understand when it is such a part of our life.
Because we've taken breaks, I'd say.
Yeah.
We've stepped away, but we were still in the lifestyle. Like we still talk to our
Yeah.
friends.
We're still swingers.
We still
Yeah.
were swingers.
Non-monogamous, whatever you want to say. Yeah.
We weren't actively like playing and going to the
Yeah.
club or clubs and takeovers and stuff like that. But
We're still with our, like, talking
yeah,
with our circle and our friends and being a
because
part of it online.
we are real friends.
Yeah.
They're real friends.
Period.
People that announce their exit and
Yeah.
then cut everyone off. That tells me that you don't want anybody to see what's actually going on.
Just a red flag. Just
Yeah.
and it's not and red flags don't mean it's like end all be all. It is just a little thing to keep an eye on. That's what I always try to tell people.
Yeah.
People get so defensive when I say that's a red flag. It doesn't mean that it's toxic or it's a no or completely shut down. It's just something that I keep an eye on. And again, with that gut feeling, it's just something
Yeah.
that I watch and I look and I
Well, it's-
observe and
everyone has red
just a
flags.
warning. Just a warning.
Everyone has
Yeah.
red flags.
Oh, I have so many. Yeah.
Like I have
Oh,
red
yeah.
flags. You have red. Like
Oh,
we
yeah.
all have red flags.
It's just a warning. Just a little huh.
But
Just a huh.
I feel like they're more cues onto if are
Yeah.
you going to mesh with that person
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah. And everyone's
Like,
different.
are their red
It's okay.
flags not copacetic
Yeah.
with your red flags?
That's okay.
Like-
That's okay. That's all right.
Hey there, listeners. Are you looking to prioritize your sexual health and wellness? We've got just a thing for you. Shameless Care offers at-home testing kits, telehealth consultations, and even treatment for ED and performance anxiety for when you want to play but your body says otherwise. It's convenient, discreet, and all about keeping you at your best. And guess what? We've teamed up with them to give you an exclusive discount. Use code HOT, that's code HOT, at checkout to get $30 off your first order. Don't walk, run. It's time to take charge of your sexual health today with Shameless Care, because your health is nothing to be ashamed of.
All right, next segment. What would you tell your past self? If we could go back in time, what advice would you give yourself?
Like how far back in time?
Probably the beginning, I'd say.
Like the
The
lifestyle?
First day.
Or like 18?
No, lifestyle.
Because if it was my 18, like, you're not going to believe this shit.
No, lifestyle.
Well, hang on. Just wait. But not lifestyle. I would tell my younger self what we say every single week. It's not that serious. Don't make it weird.
Yeah, there's a reason we say that. It's not just something we say. It's part of our everyday
Yeah.
phrase. We say it all the time. because-
I would say that, oh, you are attractive. People do find you attractive.
Yeah.
Your penis is big enough. What else?
Get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's
Get
okay to
com-
be uncomfortable.
We've said that one way
It
before
is
lifestyle.
It's okay to be comfortable,
Yeah.
uncomfortable. That's when the best things happen, when you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to voice how you feel or what you want, your needs, your wants, how you're feeling.
Yeah.
If you're uncomfortable, anything at all, be comfortable speaking up for yourself and standing up for yourself, because you do and you will have to in the lifestyle. You will have to be a voice for yourself and your partner and your friends and the lifestyle in general, as we are. But don't be so scared. It's okay to not like things, to like things, to have an opinion. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No.
okay to have an opinion.
Yeah. It's okay
That's
to not be okay with everything.
Their emotional response isn't your
responsibility.
responsibility.
Yeah. And it's an us thing. That's all that matters. Nothing
Yeah.
else matters. And sometimes that does help me to step back and say that to myself and realize like none of this matters that much. As long as you and him are okay, it's an us thing. That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
All of this little stuff
As long as we're good,
means nothing. Yeah.
the
that's it.
world's good.
That's it. All right. What do you think is the biggest mind shift that we've had over the last 5 years in
Ooh.
the lifestyle?
Our biggest shift, I feel, is we recognize the emotions that happen.
And the fact that it's okay to have emotion.
And
I think we spent
yeah.
so long just no emotion, no feeling.
We fought it.
We did for
And the fact that we
Ever.
were feeling a certain way, or that we were close with people, we felt guilt about it.
Yeah.
And like, we're not supposed to do this.
Scary.
I'm only supposed to have
Scared.
emotions for you.
yeah, no
Like,
emotions for anyone else. ever.
But it was it's recognizing that there's different type of emotions.
Yeah. And emotions are
And-
again natural and they're
Yeah.
gonna happen and feelings happen and it's okay.
I think that's been
not-
the biggest shift.
It's not the
for us.
enemy.
Because
Yeah.
we would, in the
Oh,
very
yeah.
beginning, like if we started getting too close to people, we would just dip.
Ghost.
we would
Yeah, we'd
ghost.
be like, this is getting
getting too
heavy.
serious.
It's getting too much.
Too serious.
It's too scary. And yeah, we would just run.
And now
I found myself with people we've met recently, like you even said that to me because I was like, I forget what I was saying one day and I was having a moment and you were like, you're trying to pull back from them. I can,
Oh yeah.
I forget
Yeah,
what I
I
exactly
I
said.
call you on that shit now.
Yeah,
though.
I forget what I exactly said, and I was like, it's getting too scary. So you're starting to put that wall back up because I'm
Yeah.
starting to like, analyze it and getting a little too scared of things, and then you're like, there you are trying to run them off again. So I have to remind myself, and it's good to have somebody that keeps you in check too. And
Yeah, and I don't say it like in a bad way.
no. It's
I
literally
just-
just that.
It's literally just
Yeah.
so like because
I recognize it.
yeah, so you reckon
Yeah.
because you do it so naturally.
It's what I've always done.
You've always done it.
Yeah,
It's
don't
part
let
of-
anybody in. Block your heart.
Yeah.
Put the wall up. Yeah, and so I do tend to fall back on that, and I have you to remind me.
Well, you called
Okay.
me out on my
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just
Yeah.
different.
But,
Different.
yeah,
little
different
things.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. All right, and then one piece of advice for new people entering the lifestyle. Now, off of all of that, you say.
I would say that anybody new, single or in a relationship, that it's not a race.
Yes.
Slow down. There's always going to be plenty of time
Plenty of
to
people you're gonna find.
and plenty of people
Yeah.
and
Be patient. You're gonna find. I know it's depending on where you live and who you're hanging out with, and the clubs you're going to, and the places you're going. It might take you a long time to find your people, and it might take you a long time to find somebody to swap with or to even be interested in swapping with, and that's okay. There are people out there. I promise you, every shape, every color, every size, everything. You will find your people that are into the same stuff that you're into. They're out there. Sometimes we are lucky and we live in a really populated area full of swingers, and we're
Yeah.
very, very spoiled with the clubs and the events and all
They-
the things here. But if you live in, Arkansas or Iowa or somewhere where there's
Yeah.
nothing, you're going to have a little bit harder time finding your people. But I promise that they're out there.
they're very discreet
Yeah, I promise they're out there. And
because you're in the
find
Bible Belt.
you're going to have to just search a little bit harder. Be patient, just in general.
I got another one too. And this again for singles
Mm-hmm.
or couples is understand that as a couple or a single person, you're being invited into another
yeah.
couple's dynamic.
Dynamic relationship.
So
Yeah.
understand your place
Yeah. And your purpose.
and your purpose.
Why you're all there and what. Yeah.
And that purpose can vary and that reason can change,
Mhm.
but just understand that you're being invited into that other couple's or people's dynamic.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
No. Just be respectful.
exactly.
Be kind. Be a good human. Just be nice. Really, it's very simple as that. Put yourself out there too. Like, don't be afraid to just go out there and say hi and to talk to the person. And everyone's like, oh, they're out of my league. Do you know how many times that I've been out of my league in this last 5 years? Do you know how many times
Hey.
I looked at him and be like, what is happening right now? I would have never imagined. It's
Same.
all a vibe. It's all energy. It's
It's-
all a personality thing.
yeah.
It's so much more.
We've pulled
than-
some dime pieces together.
We've looked at each other, high five. Yeah. There's been moments where we're like just mind blown, speechless type thing. I mean, it's about so much more than looks and about
Yeah.
the perfect body or the perfect whatever face or smile or eyes or whatever. It's
Really. And I would
personality
say
and
this again,
confidence.
it's confidence.
Confidence.
It's
is-
find your confidence.
Yeah.
There's a
If
difference.
you believe it, they're all going to believe it. So whatever you believe is going to be what
But if
it is.
But if you're going to believe it, believe it.
Believe it. Yeah.
Because if it
will
exist. If it's disingenuine, everybody's
yeah.
gonna see you right through it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You have to believe it with your gut. And
Yeah.
Your whole heart. And everyone, it will be. Period.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I know it sounds insane, but watch. You just watch.
You just watch.
Go out there confident, and everyone else will believe in you too. And everything that it is that you want to be, you can be in this lifestyle. And that's
Yeah.
probably one of my favorite things. There's someone for everyone, and nobody is out of your league. I promise.
No.
I promise. There's not that's not a thing here.
No.
It's all about the chemistry and the vibes and humans. Be kind, be good, just be a good person and be friendly. Be charismatic. Go make friends, smile, make eye contact. Just be.
Just be.
Just be. Just be. Be yourself. Be yourself.
Yeah.
All right. And then for the last segment, the best decisions we have ever made, redemptions. These are our redemptions. Learning to walk away and saying no. We're back to that pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's come full circle.
Yeah.
It's okay to realize this is not something that I want. This is not something or someone
Yep.
that I'm interested in. And there is power in just not and saying no and speaking up for yourself or your partner or both of you. And
Yeah.
saying,
It's not just speaking up with other people.
Mhm.
It's speaking up with your partner
yeah,
and to yourself,
Yeah.
recognizing that this isn't something you want personally, and then going from there.
you're choosing what you want and what you don't want and
Say,
have power in that. There's power in
even
that.
negative emotions can be turned into positive emotions.
That's okay.
Yeah. Like, even if you're having a
Yeah.
bad experience and you step away from it, and you eventually figure out why it was
Yeah.
a bad experience for
Yeah.
you and why you didn't like it.
No.
And then you go from there.
Yep.
And you grow.
And then the next big one is surrounding ourselves with the right people. And that has changed
Yes.
pretty much everything in this past year or so. We've really reevaluated a lot of our relationships and our friendships with people and who we surround ourselves with. And we stepped back and we were like, is this really what we want? Is this really who we want to be associated with? Is this really what we're wanting? And
we definitely have rekindled old friendships that we realized were very valuable.
Yeah.
We've taken a step back from some friendships that were
not serving a purpose.
not serving.
Yeah.
And we've built some new amazing friendships.
Yeah. And it's amazing what you attract when you allow it.
Yeah.
When you are just being yourself and you just put that wall down and you just become authentic and you are who you are, you attract that.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how you can attract that just from being yourself. And you'll find the people come to you. It's like a magnet. As soon as you put yourself out there and you just be your true self, you'll find people that gravitate towards you, that love you, and that just, it's good.
It is.
It's a good thing. That was probably the best thing.
We've built a pretty good tribe. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah. It's the 3 a.m. no questions asked shovel.
Yeah. I could call.
Shovel type of people.
Yeah.
Yes. And not only people and friends and everything, but the people you play with itself, not settling for just anyone and any.
Well, and I think
thing
now, because
to-
we're surrounding ourselves with people that we're comfortable with, who we be ourselves with, it allows for the conversations to happen and to fulfill fantasies that aren't possible with that
surface
strange
level, like just people.
Yeah. So the more comfortable you get, the more fantasies you get to explore.
It's a whole new world.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm here
10
for
out of
it,
10
though.
recommend. 10 out of 10 recommend.
I'm here for it. And the last thing I would have to say is embrace the fun and not the pressure.
Yeah.
If you're feeling a lot of pressure,
Expectation.
and those usually come from expectations.
What happens when that doesn't happen? You can either get pissed off. We know people who go in with super big expectations and then they leave not fulfilling those expectations, and then in turn
they throw a fit like
throw
a
a
child.
tantrum. Yeah, we've seen full blown tantrums from these people that are like this.
But it makes total sense though. From if you go back a few weeks when I talked to Jim, we learn everything emotionally by the age of 8.
Yeah.
And if we don't work on ourselves after that, we are responding at an emotional level of an 8-year-old.
That's exactly
temper
what it is.
tantrums we see. So they're not doing, and that's another red flag is, you're not doing the work on yourself.
Yeah.
You're not actually finding why you're trying to figure out why you're having these feelings.
Why
You're
you're
just
upset.
blaming it on everyone else.
That's usually the thing they deflect onto someone else.
Yep.
Take it out on,
Yep.
unfortunately, their partner and their person.
Yeah,
Gets the
unfortunately.
front.
And that's where you
But,
start seeing relationships crumble.
And yeah, that's gist of all the most common list of stuff people regret, the biggest mistakes they've made, stuff that we're hearing all the time on social media and DMs and emails and podcasts, comments, and all of that. That's pretty much the big. I know there's so many more. If you think of anything else, DM us, drop us, comment down below, YouTube, wherever you're watching this or
Yeah,
listening.
you can put a
to
comment
this,
just about anywhere nowadays.
yeah,
So
social media, DM us, and we have email. There's so many different ways to reach out to
Yeah.
us. But if you have more, we're always up for continuing episodes and talking more about these things and hopefully helping you avoid some of these mistakes that we've made and
Yeah.
others have made along the lines. And
try to give a
along the
couple
road.
cheat codes to make it easier.
yes, we don't want anybody to make the same mistakes. We may learn some hard lessons.
There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Learn some hard lessons.
We're trying to help you out. But next week's episode, we will be live at Secrets. It's going to be exciting with the motherfucking
I'm
Lees.
so
We're
excited.
finally going to have them on the podcast. We're finally going to sit down
Yeah,
together.
in person.
We've talked about them pretty much every
I know.
episode for the last
They've almost been on our podcast
quite a few times. So,
but something's always happened.
the universe
And
keeps testing us. So we're finally going to sit down with them. We have 2 days with them at Secrets, and then we'll be there for 5 days. So should have time. We're going to probably do another podcast as well while we're there, us
Yeah.
wrapping up the weekend and all of that too. So definitely look forward to all of social media. We're going to be having all the Secrets things, all of the TikToks and Instagrams, and we'll have all of that coming here soon. And that's really the big thing going on right now. Secrets is kind of a big deal. It's pretty huge event for us 2-3 times a year. So we're excited to be there and do that and have time together and spend a week in Florida. It's always a good time. But if you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you leave a review and share it with your friends. Comment below, like all the things. Do all the stuff, please.
share.
Please. Please. And remember,
It's not that serious.
don't make it weird. We love you guys, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.